What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Movie Bunker, where physical media is alive and well. I am 4K Outlaw. We have another haul. That's right, we have amassed another large stack of movies. I was going to wait and do this later on in July, but we have already rapidly approached more than I would like to show off. So we're going to get this started off pretty quickly. But do me a favor, if you're new here and you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button if you support physical media. We just passed over 1,000 subscribers. I've had a blast making content, and so I'm looking forward to trying to get to 2,000. And I also want to say a huge thank you to everybody that's checked out my last two videos. Those are more unrelated to physical media. I had a lot of fun filming them. They were a lot more work editing. But thank you so much for everybody who checked out those last two videos. I have some more stuff planned. I have a video store road trip planned where I'm going to go all over the place around where I live. It's about a 150-mile round trip to where I rented some of my favorite movies and share some of my favorite movie experiences. But without further ado, let us get into the movies. And there's Blu-rays in here. I got a lot of stuff coming out in July. I'm going to just throw them in the release. I'm going to just throw them in this update with you so you guys can see it a little bit early. So let's get started. The first bunch of stuff that I'm going to show off was sent over from Alliance Entertainment, and we're going to start off with Relentless here on Blu-ray. This is one of those the old retro VHS slips that come with it. Relentless is going to be available on July 28th. So like I said, if you have interest in this, you can pick it up. Also releasing on July 28th, we have the new Blu-ray for Mickey and Maude. This is, again, one of those VHS retro slips. These are very popular, and these seem to sell out pretty quick. So if you are wanting to get these, I highly recommend putting your pre-order in now. These are both available on Amazon. Is God Is was also sent over from Alliance Entertainment. This one is also going to be available on July 28th. I know nothing about this other than I've seen a bunch of trailers for it while I was in the theater over the summer, or over the year. If anybody has seen this, down below, let me know if you've liked it, if you what you recommend if I check it out. Also sent over from Alliance Entertainment and available on July 14th, we have The Christophers. Again, I've never seen this. It's got Ian McKellen in it, so I'll check it out. Probably one of the ones I'm most excited about. Well, definitely one of the ones I'm most excited about. We have Deep Water. Now, this is directed by Renny Harlin, the same guy who did Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and Deep Blue Sea. And he also did the new Strangers movie, so I'm not as excited about that. But I am looking forward to checking this out. This, summertime, you can't go wrong with a good shark movie, and it's got Ben Kingsley in it. So of all of these, I'm probably actually going to watch this one. Available on July 14th as well, we have NCIS Tony and Ziva Season 1 on DVD. And then on July 7th, another one I'm actually really excited about, we have the new 4K for the drama. This was also sent over from Alliance Entertainment. I am a huge fan of the way A24 uh, packages their movies. I have the Smashing Machine I'm up there looking at. They look awesome on the shelf. I'm not the biggest A24 fan, so I only have, I think, one release. So, you know, eventually I may get more of these and like put them all together. But yeah, this is available on July the 7th, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm a huge Zendaya fan. I can't wait to see her in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And the last from Alliance Entertainment on July 7th, I forgot, this is one I'm most excited about. We have Strange Journey. Now, this is a documentary based off of Rocky Horror Picture Show, which has oddly enough become one of my favorite annual watches. Me and Tess watched that for the first time, I think, about 4 years ago, and we just had the best time with it. It is a zonky movie, but anytime I can get some more information on Tim Curry, I am definitely going to do that. I didn't even know this existed. Strange Journey, the story of Rocky Horror, is a profound and deeply personal documentary that pulls back the curtain on one of pop culture's most defiant and beloved masterpieces. Sign me up. I have the Rocky Horror Picture Show steelbook right here on 4K, so I'm going to just slide this right there beside it because it is definitely staying on the shelf. And I lied. The last thing that was sent over from Alliance Entertainment and available on June the 30th, I believe, is Crime 101. Now, I've already done a video on this. I actually did watch this over the weekend, and I was really surprised with how much I liked it. It reminded me of watching like a live action GTA, Grand Theft Auto. There is something about a movie that's based in California that's filmed at night where you get that LA night sky. It reminds me of Heat. This movie is not as good as Heat. Don't get that shit twisted. But it is a fun movie, man. I don't know how I missed this in theaters. One of Chris Hemsworth's, I say strange performance lovingly. It is a very There is stuff about this movie that I wanted to give it like a 4 out of 5, but it leaves some stuff unanswered. Like one of the characters I was most interested in is Nick Nolte. You have no clue what happens to him. They left that just, I guess, up for your interpretation, but not in a good way, kind of like in a more lazy way. Aside from that and the small, like little nitpicky, the ending completely goes off the rails. It becomes like a 4 or 5 minute standoff. It's just ridiculous. But leading up to the ending is a very fulfilling and satisfying movie. I love, like I said, I love the LA Night Sky. I'm a big fan of Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo. It's cool seeing Thor and Hulk in a movie where they're not Thor and Hulk. A very strange performance by Chris Hemsworth. It kind of reminded me of Ben Affleck's character in The Accountant. Got some Blu-rays to get into. I had to repurchase this, unfortunately, from of the Great Flood of 2025, where I lost the majority of my collection. And you know what? For years, I have wanted to make a video about this, and I've been afraid to. I'm no longer afraid. This is going to be the most controversial hot take I have ever said on my page. The Psycho remake. I prefer it to the original. It's important to note that I watched this the same weekend that I had that profound moment with Halloween '78. I had never seen Psycho. This is the first introduction I had to Psycho, and I at that summer, I love this movie. I love Vince Vaughn. I talk about him often in Clay Pigeons. Wherever is Clay Pigeons? Here we go. Let's get this down. Without this movie, I'd have never probably picked up this movie. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. Me and my friend Shane, I've talked about this. We've watched this movie. I quote this movie still. You can see. I'm assuming that this also came out in '98. I'm not sure where these two fall or when they kind of came out together, but they play well with each other. Vince Vaughn is also a serial killer in Clay Pigeons. It's a great movie, but I love this movie, man. I love his portrayal of Norman Bates. I know that this is probably the most hated remake of all time because it is a shot-by-shot remake of the original. I like this one more. Sue me. I've watched the original since. I can respect the original, but this is my hot take. There are some people that like the Rob Zombie's Halloween more than the original. I don't understand it, and I like Psycho more than I like the remake of Psycho more than the original. Alrighty, I also had this sent over from Kino Lorber. We have Major Payne here on Blu-ray. I don't know if I covered this one or not. I definitely made a video for this. Classic movie. Major Payne is a forgotten gem from the '90s with Bam Bam Bigelow in it. I cannot wait to watch this. Love it. And then I just impulsively bought Super Mario Galaxy, the movie. What can I say, man? These movies look incredible. This is why you buy a 4K setup for movies like this. I've taken my daughters to see these. We had a really great birthday party for Kayla. I took her to Holiday World. I came home and had a flat tire the next day, so I had to go to Walmart and get a tire replaced. And I just saw this and I thought, you know what? Let me get this. We're gonna watch it that night. We didn't, but I am gonna watch it. I think this slipcover. This is one of the few times that I rock with the slips over the steel books. They look so awesome together, and I'm a huge Mario fan, so I had to pick that up. Let's get into some Scream Factors here before we get into the 4Ks. I just recently picked up Bordello of Blood. Whenever I was filming that Hastings video, it got me nostalgic, and I wanted this back. And I actually found it for a pretty fair price on Mercari. I'm telling you, man, don't sleep on Mercari. I had been scouring for this forever on eBay and couldn't find it. And it was just, it's out of print. Found this on Mercari for like 35 bucks. So I actually also want to state that I rewatched it and I really liked it. I had a really good time with it. I do prefer Demon Knight, no doubt, but this movie is fun. You get one of the strangest performances ever from Dennis Miller. It's a strange movie, but it's so much fun, so I had to pick this up. These next two, I am so excited to have. I think that when you're collecting something and you have to wait to piece it together, it makes it a little bit more special because like with the Nightmare on Elm Street steelbooks, you can just go buy them right off and you got them all at once. These took a few years. I mean, I don't actually know. These took years. And I'm talking about Scream. Now, I picked up Scream 4 here, the Lionsgate Limited steelbook, and I just want to stand by what I say. I think that Lionsgate Limited is the premier steelbook company right now. The fact that they put this out and they made it in a way that matches the other steelbooks just goes to show that they're listening to their fan base. They are making this so that collectors can put together their Scream steelbook collection, and I am so grateful. This steelbook is incredible, like all of their steelbooks, and they're still cheaper than the one that I'm about to show you. I was very fortunate that Paramount and Alliance Entertainment sent me over the Scream 7 4K steelbook. Of the steelbooks, I stand by that. I think that this one is my favorite just because I love this font and color. It almost looks like they've taken Scream and Stab and merged them together. And I'm going to tell you something, man. It is so awesome. Putting these on the shelf and looking at them in all of their glory. You know, there are very few franchises that I would go to this trouble to complete a run of steelbooks. Scream is one of them. It is a breathtaking set. I have them all together. I hope that one of you super talented box makers out there are whipping up something cool for this, because if you do, I will definitely buy it. It needs a box. I would like to take these off the shelves, take them out of these steelbook protectors, and put them in a box similar to the Nightmare on Elm Street one. So one of you guys out there that are watching that can make this stuff, make it happen. Let's end on one of the most controversial releases that I can remember. Day of the Dead, the Scream Factory. Day of the Dead's got so much crap going on with it right now. There's a company overseas that's made a release. It's apparently got AI in it. I haven't followed too much with it. And then Scream Factory. Scream Factory gives us this. Now, I want to be completely honest and transparent in this video. I was actually in the middle of making a video. I have a notepad. First of all, I still haven't finished the bonus features on this. This is an incredible release. I would like to think that I am a pretty high up on the chain fan of Day of the Dead. I have talked about this movie for years. I have a Bub, so if I can get that break and everything. I have a Bub Clay Guy figure right here from the Clay Guy. Barry the Clay Guy, shout out to him. If you go to the conventions, you know what I'm talking about. So I have a vested interest in this. This is one of my favorite zombie movies of all time. I have been open from the start of my channel that zombie movies are my favorite subgenre in horror. So this was one of my most anticipated releases of the year. Definitely one of my most anticipated Scream Factories of all time. Now, I watched this, and this is a 4K transfer from the inner. How do I say this? A 4K restoration from the Inner Positive. The sleepaway camps are also 4K transfers of the Inner Positive. And before we even get into the audio, I just felt like the visuals in this were missing. Now, there are moments where this looks awesome. At the very beginning of the movie, whenever they're landing, and you're kind of getting you're getting a shot of like the main zombies, where like each zombie has a gimmick with Dr. Tongue. That shot looks breathtaking. The back to back there, all the zombies look great, and there are some really good shots. But you have to remember, most of this movie is filmed in a cave, so it's dark anyways. It's not a great video. It's not. It's just not a great transfer. It's not a bad transfer, but it's just not a great transfer. Now, I had no issues with the audio. Just to be honest, I had no clue anything was different, anything was changed. I have a Dolby Atmos soundbar. I listened to it in Dolby Atmos. I didn't get my socks knocked off, but I didn't notice anything. Apparently, there was an issue with the audio on this where they used a censored DVD rip or a censored TV rip from the Anchor Bay release. So I'm not going to go too much into that because I don't know what I'm talking about. There are much better videos out there that explain this. My page was just flooded with Day of the Dead videos. You get the World's End documentary on this. You also get it on the Blu-ray. What I will say about this in a positive is this is my favorite hard box. And when I say hard box, I ain't talking about the artwork. I'm talking about this box. This box is a big, thick boy. This is thicker than arrows. This feels awesome, and it has a very nice glossy finish. Nonetheless, Day of the Dead, I do recommend it. I do. Like I said, though, if you don't have the money, rock the Blu-ray. And I guess what I would also say is just wait. I would imagine that a lot of people who are going to buy this have watched videos, and that may have swayed them. Second Sight is also probably going to get this. I'd wait for that. With Second Sight, you're getting quality, and not to say that this isn't quality, but you will get fine tooth comb details. Audio will be good. All you won't have to worry about. Seems to be a common occurrence with Screen Factory. There's always just something wrong with their releases. I don't know who runs their quality control. Screen Factory. So guys, that is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've had a lot of fun making these videos. I got a lot of fun stuff planned for the summer. Until next time, guys, farewell from the Movie Bunker. I'll see you at the movies.